Hey there, my name is Christian, and today I will show you how you can build a really cool lead collection form similar to this one for your marketing website, and even send this data over to your Slack. So let's get started. A quick demo here of what we'll build today. Here we have a sample marketing website. Shout out to Xiaxian for providing the template for this. It's really great. But what we'll do today is that we'll basically build this form that's sort of a type form style form. And I'm going to fill it out here, and what you'll see is that not only does this form look great and fit right in with your brand and design and everything else, it also is pretty smart because it's going to allow your visitors to submit a lead here, and then it's going to land here over in my Slack where my team can follow up and discuss next steps. So let's get started. We start over here in the Frigade platform. You can go and sign up yourself on frigade.com. It's completely free to get started and doesn't even require a credit card or anything like that. What we're going to do here is that we're going to navigate to the components page, and then you can see there's a bunch of different stuff you can build with Frigade, but today we're just going to build a form. So here's an example of what this component looks like, and you can see also the React code here for setting it up, and the config as well for configuring which fields you want in there. So this component looks pretty good to me, so what we'll do here is that we'll click Use Component. So now this is going to create a flow here. And now we've created a flow, which is going to be a container that we're going to use for managing all the state of this component, and also for collecting the users and setting up Slack eventually. So let's get started here. So in this preview, you can see it just has the title, some description, some fields here. So we're going to go in and update this config to look like something we can use. So what we'll do here is that we'll kill this thing off here. I'm just going to go to email. Save it here and take a quick look. Yep, email looks good. Then text area, we probably don't need a text area, so we'll just cut this out. And let's do a simple radio group here. And let's see. This custom field here, we can cut this out too. Okay, great. So now we have a pretty nice simple form here, just with an email and a radio group. And what I think actually could be good as well would be to put in a name. So we'll just copy this field right here and put in name, your name. We won't do a placeholder for this one. We'll have an error message here. This uses React hook form under the hood, so you might see things here that you are pretty familiar with if you've worked with that library before, such as like regex, things like that, error messages. Name is required. Okay. Email looks pretty good as is. And here, just for the example, let's just do company size. And we'll just do a very simple one that's like 1 to 10. We'll just call this 1, 11 to 25. 11, and then this one will be 25 plus. Great. So save that, click preview. This is looking pretty good. Actually, I do want to add a placeholder here because it actually looks more consistent. So we're going to do a placeholder here. We just say John Doe as the placeholder. Great. Awesome. And let's form title, let's call this get in touch, and the subtitle we will just make check out our cool product. List your email, hello, and we'll be in touch. Great. Great. This looks good to me. Awesome. Okay. So now I want to put this inside this demo application over here that is a simple Next.js marketing website example. And what we'll do here is that we will click on usage, and we have this little snippet here. And what we'll do here, this already has this flow ID pre-populated, so we're just going to map it to this. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to jump into VS Code here. And here right now, I have this simple component that's called waitlist button, and what you'll see here is it's just a button and it doesn't do anything. You click on it, nothing happens. Okay, we're gonna make this button really smart now. So let's open up VS Code again. So what I'll do here is I'll paste in the component from before, and what's gonna happen now is that this is actually not going to render just yet because we still have to add the Frigade provider to this project. So before we start looking at it, it's going to start complaining now because I don't have the Frigade provider in here. So we'll set that up real quick. We do that by just heading over to developer, clicking on API keys here, and then clicking copy, and then we're going to pull this back up here, and we're just going to put the Frigade provider in here with this API key. You can find the docs on how to set all this stuff up on the Frigade website, so I won't go too deep into it right now, but it's basically what you want to do is just put in this provider, put in an API key, and then you should be all set here. Cool. Save that. Just indent this nicely. Great. Okay. So now we have the API key, we have the form. Let's see what this looks like right now. Go over here and refresh. Okay, great. So we have a form in here now. It looks kind of funny, right? Because it's just going to render inline. Luckily, we don't have to provide our own modal, anything like that. Frigade comes with a few nice radix dialogues. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to do as, and then we're going to do frigade.dialog. Let's try to see how that works out. Great, so now there's a dialogue. There's, of course, a few problems here still, but we'll solve that in a second. But it's in a dialogue, that's great. So next, what we'll do here is, one, we want to make this dismissible. So if I can spell it, we can, I already had down here, yeah. We will now make this dismissible, great. So now it should be an X icon, awesome, all right. Good, so far so good. The other thing you can see, there are some C-index issues here. Like some of these things here are interacting within a weird way. Luckily, that's really easy to fix because we can just add a C-index prop here. Yeah, we'll set to 1,000. Thanks, GitHub Copilot. Check this out. These look much better now. There are no more issues here now. Okay, great. This is already looking really good as is, but we can make it even better. Just a weird blue ring here. And that's because I think some of the styling from the default Frigade library is trying to conflict with what we have here. So what I'm going to do, and this is all going to be linked in the documentation with this video, but I'm just going to override some of the custom styling here with some other colors, so we don't have any of that weird blueness. So what I'll do here is that I just have this prepared before, but I'll just copy over this theme here, which is pretty much just makes all the primary color black instead of blue. Let's see. So now this blue ring should have gone away. Great. It's looking much better. Okay, sweet. Now, one issue is that if I close this now, it's gone because Frigade keeps track of all the state of users, even guest users. We generate a token and store it in local storage. So this won't come back now until I go over here and commit K, and what was that? Oh, actually, what did I call this form? Form. It's just called form. Until I go over here and reset this user. So I'll reset this user. Cool. Let's now reset. And now the form should magically pop back. Yep, here it is. So we will fix this as well. And without going too deep into it, what I'll basically do is, one, I will add a dismiss handler here. And what I'll do here is I will return false, which will make sure that the flow does not go away whenever I dismiss it. So that's good. The other thing I'll do is I'll add a complete handler on complete, which means when the user submits the form on complete, we also don't want to, in this case, we want to actually allow users to submit things again. And we also want to make sure that this thing can reopen nicely. So what we'll do here is that we'll do what Copilot suggests here and do a toast. That's a good idea. We'll import that from ShadCN. And then we will set this open to false. And then we will return true. Okay. Great. The other thing we'll do here is we'll tie this state variable I have up here that is open. We'll tie it to this form. So we'll do is open and then put this here. Like that. And now let's see what this looks like. Let's take a refresh here. I click the join waitlist. It opens up. I click out of it. Oop, it's not closing. Let's see what's going on there. Yeah, so I just need to call this set this open false here. Great. Let's try that. Refresh here. Great. So now I can open and close this. Sweet. Okay, this is looking pretty good. So what we'll do now is that we're just going to verify all this stuff works. As expected, this is looking pretty good here. Yep, this looks good to me. Okay, so let's try to fill out this form. So we'll click join the waitlist, and I'm going to fill this out. Sure, I'll fill out with my own name. Chris@test.com. And then company size 1 to 10, sure. Click submit, and now if this works, we should see a little toast down here. And so let's try this out. Cool. That was nice. So now let's go over here in Frigade, and we should see this user here now. Yep. And we should be able to click view data, and here you can see all the data that was just collected. And what's really cool is that Frigade, as a developer tool, allows you to take this data and pretty much send it wherever you like. So in this example, what we'll do in a little bit is that we're going to send it to Slack. So my sales team can pick up this lead and get in touch with this person. But you can send this anywhere, to your CRM, like HubSpot or Salesforce, or you can send it to Zapier or wherever you like. So in this example, though, we'll send it to Slack. But everything here looks so good right now. I think this is much better than like your default go-to type form and such. So we're pretty happy with this now. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take a short break, and then we will set up a webhook. Okay, so we got this cool form here on our marketing website. Now what we want to do is send this data over to Slack. So whenever someone submits this, it doesn't just land in Frigade, but it also lands over in my team Slack. So my sales team and other folks can talk about it, follow up with the person, and we can just see what's going on in general. So let's set this up. So we'll go over here. We have this epic waitlist form here. And what we'll do is we will go in and click the developer tab here, and then go over to webhooks and click new webhook. And then we'll stop here for a second, because now we got to go over to Slack. So we have this channel here, website leads. And in this channel, I want all the people that submit this form to basically land with a new message every time someone submits it. So what we'll do here is we're going to create what's called a Slack workflow. It's a relatively new thing that Slack built, but it's pretty easy to use. So let's see here, create a workflow. Okay, so we're going to start from scratch. We're going to say from webhook, and then we are going to click set up variables. So what we'll put in here is data, data underscore email. We'll get back to it later why this is in this weird format, but this is going to work. So we have this set up now. We're going to click done, and we will click continue. Okay, so what we'll do here is that we'll give this a name real quick. So let's call it new leads. And I love this picture, so keep that for sure. And we'll click over here, we'll go back. And then what we have here is that when a new webhook comes in, what we want to happen is we want a message to be sent to a channel. So we're going to say send a message to a channel. And we have this leads channel here where we want it to land. So we say website leads. And then this is where I can put in the message. So for now, you can get all the data in here, the company size, all that stuff. For now, just as a proof of concept, we'll just do the email. So we'll put this guy in here, data email, and we will write something, just submitted the waitlist form. Sweet. And we'll click save. And that should pretty much be it. So I'll click finish up, and I will click publish. Cool, so now it's published. Now what I need to do now is I need to actually get that URL for this webhook. So what I'll do here is I'll go back, click on this, and I think here, yeah, there's now a URL here. You have to publish it first before you get this URL. This one gotcha there. Okay, so that looks good. So now what we'll do is that we'll jump back here, and now we'll paste in this URL. We'll pick the epic waitlist, and we will say step completed. And then we say flatten all fields. So remember that really weird field name? The reason for that is Slack does not support nested fields. So there's this option here where you can flatten all the fields, which allows Slack to understand all the data that comes in. So we'll just pick that and click create. Great. So that's it. So time to test this. So we'll go over here, back into the website. And if I submit this now, what should happen is that it should actually post to Slack the second I fill this out. So let's see if that works. Okay, submit, cool, toast. So now let's jump over into Slack and see what happened. So we'll go back here, and back into the channel, and look at that. Christian at Frigade just submitted the waitlist form. So that's pretty much it.